Should there be a ban on food irradiation?
First of all, what is food irradiation? You see, food irradiation is just the process of exposing food to radiation in order to treat it. Foods that go through this process are usually meats, fruits and veggies, sometimes herbs and spices. And it's kind of like the process your dentist uses to sterilize their medical equipment. So what's the big deal? It's just food being cleaned by radiation.
Well, the big deal is that food irradiation uses radiation.
Your microwave uses radiation, the sun emits radiation, and even your radio uses a form of radiation. Although the type of radiation used in food irradiation is man-made. According to the FDA, the Health and Food Administration,
there are 3 types of radiation that are approved to be used in food irradiation.
There are X-rays, which are produced by reflecting a high-energy stream of electrons off heavy metals.
There's electron beams, or E-beams, which are similar to X-rays.
And then there's gamma rays, which will be the ones I'll be focusing on for the purpose of this video. During the process of food irradiation, high-frequency bursts of lights emitted from radioactive forms of elements like cobalt-60 and cesium-137 are exposed to food that are protected by packaging. The human eye cannot see these rays, and they are the results of nuclear gamma decay. What is gamma decay? Well, it's a process by which unstable atoms lose energy by radiation.
Gamma decay usually occurs after 2 other types of decay, alpha decay and beta decay.
Those other 2 types of decay are nuclear processes, but they go through something called fission. And fission is essentially atoms splitting into smaller parts. Usually after fission happens, the 2 products of the original atom weigh less than the starting atom. That is because once fission occurs, a small amount of mass in the reaction is converted into energy, and a small amount of that energy is converted into gamma rays. To sum it up,
excess energy from other types of decay can be emitted as gamma rays.
And those gamma rays are used in the process of food irradiation. These rays can effectively eliminate microorganisms that are present in food. Organisms like Salmonella or E. coli that can cause illnesses. According to foodirradiation.org, the process also destroys any insects or other bugs that come from imported goods that pass through the initial preparation and cleaning processes. In addition to this, food irradiation extends the shelf life of food. So foods like blueberries and strawberries that usually last a week under refrigeration would last a few more days without developing mold. Over the years, there's been quite a debate over the topic of food irradiation. Within this debate, there's people who are for and there's people who are against it. And the people strongly against this process are generally against it for the same reason. And that reason is the process may or may not change the taste of food.
There's an organization called the Center for Food Safety that believes irradiated foods are abnormal.
Even though the process of food irradiation is said to eliminate microorganisms, this company is making claims backed up by research that food irradiation has a sickening impact on the food's texture, smell, taste, and color. Besides that, the company is even questioning whether irradiated foods is safe for consumption. And they state that exposing foods to gamma rays destroy the nutrients that were originally in the food. Although that is somewhat true, according to an article from McGill University, it states that gamma rays from cobalt-60 have the potential to destroy some forms of vitamins, like vitamin A, B, and C. However, the effects are tremendously small under what little radiation is used throughout the process. There is a lot of opinions and misconceptions about the term radiation, as many people think it will instantly hurt them or make them sick. So putting something that people need to survive like food with the term irradiation just gives people off vibes. Anyways, going back to the Center of Food Safety, the company has battled larger companies like the FDA and Health Canada who have proved food irradiation to be safe. And I believe those 2 large companies are on the other side of this little predicament, as they promote the process and focus on the benefits. However, just because they deem it safe does not mean that all foods go through the process. In fact, they even placed many restrictions over what types of food can be irradiated. Currently in Canada, only the following irradiated foods are permitted for sale: potatoes, onions, wheat, flour, whole wheat flour, and whole grains or spices. And according to the Government of Canada, they are generally treated for the same reason: to reduce microbial loads, to control infestation in stored foods, and to inhibit sprouting during the storage process. In addition to this, there is also mandatory labeling on food. Health Canada's website states, by regulation, all prepackaged foods that have been irradiated must carry a statement that says, treated with radiation, treated by irradiation, or irradiated, and display the international symbol identifying irradiated foods on the principal display panel of their label. And when a food is irradiated and not sold in prepackaged form, a sign displaying the radius symbol must be located next to the point of sale of food.
This means that your local grocery store could be carrying food that has been irradiated, or food that has ingredients that have been irradiated.
This could be either a good thing or a bad thing depending what you take from this video. Well, I personally don't like the irradiation process, not because of the whole stigma of radiation, but because there's other ways to kill microorganisms in food. Perhaps cook it longer, or take extra time to wash things like fruits and veggies. I'm also not a fan of the process because of all the byproducts and wastes produced.
Dangerous waste from the process of nuclear decay can't just be thrown away, since it will remain highly radioactive for thousands of years. It has to be stored for many years until it becomes less radioactive. And because there are other ways to treat food and prevent illnesses, I think there should be somewhat of a ban on irradiation in the food industry, just because of the byproducts that sit for thousands of years.